on this computer. Okay, guys, so today I wanted to talk a little bit about ChatGPT. Some of you I know have used it, some of you, maybe haven't. And I know that some of the people in the group who maybe aren't here are on the same page. Some have used it, some haven't. But one of the things that I did, so I created, a post that I love, and I did that kind of a long time ago. And so I was kind of going, okay, I need to kind of talk about these same things, but I need some different like variations and, some different ways to show up, I guess, to kind of attract people and that sort of thing. But still the information doesn't change, right? So I was like, okay, so I went into ChatGPT and basically I fed it the information that I wanted it to give me. And then I was like, okay, give me 5 posts using this information. And it did. And then I was like, okay, that was great. Give me 10 more. And so it did. And I mean, some of them are just, it's literally different variations of the same thing, but it made my heart happy because I was like, I am not creative enough to always be like thinking of a new way to say the same thing. And so it was really helpful. So anyway, I'm going to send you guys kind of like a Word doc with all of those different posts on it so you guys can kind of see. But I thought that, hold on, let me do this real quick. I thought that I could kind of share my screen and show you guys what. All right, there it goes. Whoops. Okay, kind of what I've been doing and kind of, just who here has used ChatGPT? Okay, no? Okay. All right. So I'm going to share my screen and just kind of show you guys what I did and how cool and quick it is. Okay. So, can you guys see my screen? Okay. So basically what I did, and I do I'll test different topics in here, and kind of see what it tells me. And then I'll go back and most of the time rewrite it myself because I want it to sound more like me. But the more you use it, the more it starts to kind of understand your language and how you talk, and so anyway. All right. So what I did was I just told it, write a Facebook post for first-time homeowners, or first-time home buyers rather. Sorry, guys, I can't talk and type. I should have just copied and pasted it, honestly, but anyway. Okay, so, well, okay, there we go. So basically it's super quick and will just create a bunch of stuff that is like, oh my gosh, okay. I would have taken, let's see, probably an hour to sit there and try and think this post through if I was going to create it. But it basically just puts it all out there, gives you some great pointers, all of that. It's super easy. Like one thing that I love to do is, test it a little bit, and I'll tell it be more specific or be more compelling, those kinds of things. And it will rewrite it and tell you how you can do this. Anyway, I did this for both first-time home buyers and home sellers, kind of talking about the different kind of the changes in the market and that sort of thing, and how we're seeing multiple offers again and that sort of thing. And basically I came up with shoot, I don't even know. Let's see here. Where are my sellers? Okay. It just like, so I guess I did 5 at first, and then I told it to come up with 10 more, and it got stuck at 8, but it was great. Anyway, okay. So that is Chat GPT. It's really cool for being able to just get out of your head and kind of, create something quickly and just like enter in the info and go. What are your guys' thoughts? Especially you, Jenny, since you haven't played with it before.
I mean, I think that takes the thought process out of me being type A, because I sit down and want to like nitpick everything I put down. So if I've got something kind of helping me do that, or helping me be more creative to do that, sounds pretty cool. I'll have to get on and mess with that. But I've never even seen that before. So that's really cool.
Okay, good. I'm glad
You can also ask it to give you like bullet points. So if you're somebody, because I'm a former teacher, so I'm kind of nitpicky as well, the bullet points can kind of give you your brainstorming ideas, and then you could create it yourself. Also, right now I'm primarily focusing on buyers, but I wonder if it would be a good tool to help you write your listing.
Absolutely. I I had a listing, one of my agents, it's not my listing, it's one of my agents' listings. And he was like, Corey, I'm not good with writing, property descriptions. And so I put in all the info, that he had, and it wrote out this beautiful like property description. And I sent it to him, and he's like, okay, Corey, like this is really, really good. My seller really likes it. But the only complaint I have is like, is this area really highly desirable? Like that's what this, thing says. And like, he says, I know I'm going to get shit for this. And I was like, okay, well, take it out then. You don't have to say that if it's not true, or if you don't feel like it's true. And he kind of laughed and whatever. But anyway, so it was just kind of one of those things that I think, like obviously you have to proofread it and put in or take out whatever doesn't work. It's just really cool to have a tool that kind of gets you out of your brain and allows you to kind of do the job and stop the perfectionist thing, and just like dive in. So I kind of wanted to share that just for that reason, because I feel like a lot of you are kind of like me and in your heads and struggling with some of this stuff. So, all right. So who all saw, I think everyone saw my post yesterday, right? Did everyone see it? Eva and Letty, what about you guys?
I did not, to be honest. Yesterday I was like hardly not on Facebook.
That's okay. That's okay. Okay, so it was like a super simple post, but it got a lot of engagement, and I picked up 3 buyers from it. Hold on. Oh shoot.
That's amazing. See, it didn't get any. Did you put it on your personal page? I can't remember, or just the groups.
I put it, well, I did put it in several places. So I put it on my personal page, and after I started getting leads from it, then I put it, well, then I shared it, so you guys could have it. And then I shared it in Lab Coat Agents also.
Okay.
And so basically, sorry, I meant to go to that post so I could say how exactly it went, but essentially it was talking about how buyers, okay, it says they don't want a mortgage at 7%, but credit card is at 19 and BMW at 9.5. Buy the house. And basically, of course I got some like pushback, right? A little bit on different, like in Lab Coat Agents, or, different people saying, oh, but the balances are much different and these kinds of things and whatever. But all engagement is good engagement, right? Like, because even the not bad comments, but the comments like arguing with you. You can show your kind of knowledge and, kind of prove your point that, real estate is an investment versus the car and the credit card are definitely not investments. They're, it's just two different things, three different things completely. So anyway, but it really, for me, it kind of opened up some people's eyes. I had one girl who reached out and she's just like, okay, Corey, it's time to talk. Like, basically I'm ready now, we need to do something. And I'm going, okay, let's do this. Let's go, but I think that this is one of my, what I would call sassy posts, right? Like it's, it's one where, it's not like, I guess the way that I look at it is it's kind of calling some people out, right? And it's going to get them in their feelings a little bit like, ah, shit. And so that's kind of what I look at it like, when you can kind of call someone out and make them see the error of their ways a little bit, it kind of triggers them and makes them say something or feel something or, hopefully do something.
Do you think you would be able, I mean, obviously I'm not saying copy and paste like the messages. I'm just saying, the general idea was that, put your investment into a home and the credit score and all that. But the kind of objections, could you build a right like objection and kind of my response, objection, my response? So we can kind of see what you said.
I think I could do something like that. Yeah. And even, even doing that, like, okay, so some of the people who took it and shared it, like I loved their responses so much more than mine.
Okay. Well,
And
any
absolutely,
responses,
absolutely.
that you think would be like, here's your key responses that I would recommend you hit upon.
Right. And that was something, like I said, when I saw some of the other people's responses, I was like, damn, okay, I need to say, I need to be like, more like that, and everything. But I was like, okay, I'm just so proud of them, for like, for me, when I get like, pushback a little bit, sometimes I get like, in my shell. I don't know if that makes sense. Like sometimes it's like, oh crap, did I do the right
hold back
thing?
and you don't want to really say what you think.
Exactly. Because I don't want to come off as if I'm arguing or, like, I don't know. I always get worried that I'm not being professional in some sense. Anyway, so that has at certain times has kind of made me pull back, which I hate because I want to be like, no, like, I know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I know what I'm saying. I know what I meant by this kind of thing.
Right.
And so that's where, kind of just really understanding, that it's okay to have an opinion, you know what I mean? And express it and not feel like, well, okay, and not give a crap what anyone else thinks about your opinion. But I struggle with that a little bit.
Right.
Anyhow, okay. So another thought that I had after doing that post yesterday was kind of, doing some reels around it, or even like kind of the idea behind it. And even, Christy, as you said, if I could write out the objections and that sort of thing and like how I would respond, like it kind of opened up my brain a little bit more and was like, doing like a real kind of on the objections, what I mean, might be something that's good to kind of get some more conversation around it, and that sort of thing. And I know that not everyone is comfortable being on camera or doing that sort of thing.
I haven't done that yet. It makes me nervous.
but it's okay. I mean, because we all start somewhere, right? So if it's a post and a reel and you're like, okay, even if it's just the words and you maybe put some more context behind
people, you see them point up to the captions.
Exactly. And so being just being in more places and getting more eyeballs on you is going to help, and so I feel like if it's a post that kind of makes people engage, then take that and use it in other places and do other things with it, kind of repurpose it,
Now,
Um,
for reals, I'm not a super techie person. I'm on Facebook just to see all my family and friends, kids, and all that stuff,
Right.
Does that mean I need to have a business Instagram page?
I wouldn't say so. What I do if I'm okay, so most of the time I'm not on Instagram. Like Instagram is kind of my place for inspiration, I guess, is the way I look at it. Like when I post on Instagram, and I haven't in a while, but most of the time it's things that inspire me or make me feel good. And that's what I share, because it's just like, okay, this is a place I can go and make something pretty and just put it out there, and I can look back on it and just feel at peace. And so I don't know why that's what I look at Instagram
It's
as.
kind of like your Pinterest.
Exactly. It's just kind of like Facebook was always my place to kind of get away. And then once I started really using it for business, it was no longer a getaway. It was like oh, you're on Facebook. Okay, now you're working, and so
I keep my personal and professional Facebook separate.
Well,
I
and
just
that's
don't really like to mix the two. I don't know. That's just me.
and I get that, but at the same time, the way that I look at it is that I want people to feel like they know me, and they're going to get to know me like more by being in my personal world as opposed to just a business world. And so that's kind of like on mine, I think I have like 3,000 friends or something, but a lot of them are realtors and, that sort of thing. So clients and all of that, but there's a lot of realtors because I'll friend realtors, and that sort of thing, and
Right.
so that we can communicate and whatever. But I feel like if you let people in and they get to know you, like see your silly side, see you with your family, kind of get that feeling, they're going to feel more of a connection to you, and kind of feel like, okay, I like I see this person all the time, that sort of thing. Like it just is a different feeling in my mind.
Right. On my professional Facebook page, I've added a couple personal things.
Okay.
So it's not all business. It's just, I moved here and, most of my sphere of influence is from my home state. And so I just feel like nobody's going to really care about the business side, the people that
Well,
I'm friends with on there.
and I mean, that may be true, but then at the same point, you may be missing some things, because what if back home they're thinking of selling and you could be like a referral person for them, like find someone who, could help them and stuff.
Oh,
So
that's true.
so
I didn't
there's,
think of it that way.
some different aspects, but
Mhm.
all
And
right.
what about YouTube? What are your thoughts on?
I-
I thought I read somewhere like it's one of the best ways to like get an audience if you're going to do any videos.
Absolutely. And that's it. So what I've found myself personally, and I kind of wish Caitlin was here, because I'm gonna have Caitlin talk to us about how she uses YouTube and kind of show us her process, I guess. And so anyway, with me personally, the way that I've used YouTube is two different ways. So one, I have it for agents, and honestly, the only reason I ever uploaded a video was just because I didn't want to save it to my computer. And so I started uploading them, and then I would make them private or whatever so no one could see them. And then I was like, well, some of these things I want people to see. And so like I would, post those videos and make them public. And then I did a couple of different like YouTube shorts, and those got like way, way, way more traction than like the longer format video.
That makes sense because people are busy and they don't have time to sit there and watch a 15-minute video.
Exactly. And it also plays into, you know, the fact that the more we do this, the less our attention spans are, right? So there's kind of that aspect too. It just kind of plays into what everyone else is doing, like YouTube and Instagram and Facebook with all of these shorts, and even TikTok really. So
Can you do shorts on all of the different social media types?
yes.
That's an option. Okay.
Yeah. And they're each called something different, but yes.
Okay.
Okay.
Lord knows I never thought in my life I would make a video to put on social media. You know, I'm not somebody, like I said, I've always had a large group of friends and stuff, but you know, I just keep it with us. I'm never really just out there with everything, but I guess I will be.
We'll get you there. All right. Well, okay, guys. So what questions do you have as of right now about anything that we've talked about?
I have a question.
Okay.
Between Bard and ChatGPT, which one do you like better?
So I was playing around with Bard, and I really liked different aspects that I was shown. However, when I tried, like this morning, I was playing around with it and saying like the same things, create a Facebook post, this sort of thing. And like it not to say that it was bad, but it like gave me the same exact on Bard. It gave me the same exact information like in each post. So it wasn't like it reformatted it and, you know, whatever. It was like, oh, okay, you know, and save money and fix your credit and like these things, which is great and, you know, is helpful advice, but that's not what I was looking for. And so that was I went back to ChatGPT at that point because I was just like, okay, I know that ChatGPT is going to give me like what I'm actually trying to get out of it.
Okay.
So I would say play around with them and kind of see, but as far as for posting, like a short post, I found ChatGPT to be better at kind of creating those. If you want like a long post and like all the tips, then, you know, maybe Bard would be a good option, but I kind of feel like I was liking ChatGPT. And then yesterday I did this class with another coach, and they freaking blew my mind with their AI stuff that they were showing me. And I was like going, oh my God. So, oops, hold on one second. My phone went away, or my Zoom went away. Anyhow, so there was like, they were showing all these different things. And one was like doing kind of avatar videos. And so like, you know, it was essentially a talking head, but you could change out the pictures, you know, and like have a silly picture. The coach had this picture where he was sitting there with like bunny ears, like an Easter headband, and was talking about using programs AI, you know, for whatever. And so it just looked, I mean, he looked like a fool, I'm not gonna lie, but it was great, right? Like it was great as a like prompt in showing us what it could do, right? And so that program was called D-ID. I just called it DID, but when I did that, I got some sort of mental health thing when I Googled it. So you have to have the dash. So, anyway, but basically you can set it up where whatever picture you want to use, basically you can have that picture and you can input the text that you want it to say. They had a couple of different, like different AI programs. So they were showing us that DID program, and then 11 Labs was another one. And 11 Labs, they said the sound quality was much better, but so then they kind of combined them and took like the snippet of the sound and entered it into the DID one, I think. Okay, can you hold on one second, guys? Can you answer this? Peppa is calling. Thank you. Okay, sorry, one of my agents is calling back to back, so it might be important, but so anyway, so there was that, and then there was another one, and I know Caitlin told me that she has used this, but I had never even heard of it, that was called Midjourney. And it creates like artwork and like the way that it was shown to me, like as I was looking at this, was essentially like it creates pictures that you would want to use to stop someone from scrolling. Oh, your baby is so cute.
He's been out playing. I'm trying to separate him from his brother so cool off.
Oh,
It's already close to 100 degrees in Phoenix at like almost 9 o'clock in the morning. So
oh my gosh.
I have to watch them so they don't get too hot.
Right,
Sorry,
right.
I don't mean to distract y'all. I'm just trying to separate the siblings.
No worries, no worries. Anyway, so with Midjourney though, they were like, it was really, to me, like every picture that it was creating looked like artwork, like, I mean, a painting or something really fancy. And I was just like going, dang, okay, if I even had the words to say, okay, create a panda eating a watermelon in whatever artistic format, like, I don't know, like these things were crazy. And I was just like, okay, that's really, really cool. But I don't know how to make the words come out to create the cool things. So anyway, but some of those tools just looked really, really neat. And it was kind of interesting kind of watching them, and as they dug into it, they pay for Chat GPT, like the monthly membership, and they had some different plugins even. Like one of the plugins that they showed, I was just like, again, kind of blown away. It was called There's an AI for That. And basically when they did it, like they would ask a question and it would pull up, like, I mean, okay, how do you, I don't know, create okay, I'm drawing a blank, like a video or a home tour or something like that, and like, I mean, I'm making that up. It's something that they like, that's the kinds of things that they were saying, like just different, create this, create that, whatever. And it would pull up literally like 5 to 10 different AI programs that could do the thing that they were asking it to do. And I was just like, I was sitting there going like, this is such a rabbit hole that I want to go down, but it's a little nerve-wracking also because, like once you do, you're going to spend a lot of time probably, but but it could be really good also. So anyway, so there was another one called Framer that they showed us, and basically it creates like whole websites, and all you do is basically enter in, I mean, I'm not going to say that it didn't need some work, right? Like you would need to go in and do some editing and those kinds of things. But it basically created the web pages, like the additional pages, all the stuff, like it just built it out based on, I mean, mine, I'm not super creative. So it was like probably a 10-word like description that I gave it just to try it out. And it created a website, and then it gives you like color palettes and stuff, so you can choose kind of how you want it to go and that sort of thing. And so I was just I was blown away. So anyway, all right. So
that would be one of those moments my husband and I would quote a movie and say, I'm an old ass. I don't understand all that stuff.
Right.
I'm still trying to learn. Like my kids will look at me and say something. I'm like, you just spoke something. You're 20 and I'm 40. Like, I don't know what it is you're talking about.
Right, right, exactly. And that's where I'm like, I was so happy that I sat in on this class, right? Because I was like going, okay, I'm familiar with Chat GPT. I'm familiar with Bard, right? Like vid.yo is another one that I have used like as a trial. And when you have like a YouTube video, or any video, you can put it in and it like separates the sections, and it like will give you I don't know. I'm trying to think what I did. I did like a lead generation thing, and it was like, okay, lead generation for first time home buyers, lead generation for investors. Like, it broke it out like into different topics and literally cut the video down into shorts for me. And so that was really cool. Except that I learned that I say a lot and like a lot and those sorts of things. And so then it made me feel very self-conscious, like, oh my God, I sound like a blubbering idiot. But anyway, it was great though. Like, I mean, they were great tools if you're succinct in the way you speak.
Hey,
So
Corey, what is that Bard that you're talking about? I've never heard of that either.
okay, that one is kind of like Chat GPT, but it's the Google version. What I saw when someone showed it to me, the thing that I loved that I tested and it didn't work out so good, but that's why I loved it so much when I saw it, was it's more like that one is connected to the internet. So like Chat GPT only has internet knowledge up until 21. If you pay for the full version, then you can connect it to the internet and whatever and get more info. But basically in the free version, it only goes up to like September of 21 or something like that. So if you ask it a question, it like stats or that sort of thing, you're going to get old news. Basically, Bard is connected to the internet, and it like, okay, the thing that I was shown was someone said basically like summarize this website kind of a thing, and they put it in like the link to that website or to that video or whatever it was, and basically it summarized the whole thing. So like instead of watching a 15-minute YouTube video, it like basically gave you notes about it. And so I thought that was really, really cool, and like a quick way to kind of learn. And especially if, for me, I can't sit there and watch videos. Like I'm good if they're live, but once they're recorded, I'm like, okay, I could be doing other things, but then I know I'm not paying attention. So I thought that was really cool.
Is Bard free?
Yes.
It's free as well. Okay.
Yeah.
So
And
it's just BARD like .com, or
I just Googled BARD and it came up.
let me see. Bard AI or Bard Google?
Try either one. I think it should be the same.
Okay, Google Bard.
Found it?
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry guys, I have a hangnail now that's bothering me. I'm gonna try not to mess with that. Okay. Anyway, so there's a lot of different things that we can do. There was, well, as a plugin for Chat GPT, and this is where I kind of keep going back to Chat GPT after I was playing with both of them, just because I saw that in this class, like, actually, let me back up. When I was playing with Bard and I put in my link, like I used one of my videos and was like, okay, summarize this video for me. I don't know what it was talking about. It might as well have been Japanese. Like it was, I have no idea what it was talking about, but it was definitely not summarizing my video. So I was like, okay, so clearly it doesn't work always, like it could be that maybe older videos kind of like Chat GPT has, only information up to 21. Maybe it only can transcribe videos like, that are older or something. I don't know. But under Chat GPT, when you pay for the subscription and you go in and you can download like all of these different plugins and stuff, there was one called Link Reader. And basically with that one, it did exactly this, and it was like knowledgeable about what it was talking about. And I was like, okay, sold, right? Like I could use that. So anyway, I guess what I'm saying is we just want to kind of keep up with technology and these sorts of things, because the thing that really hit me hard yesterday was, I mean, when did Chat GPT come out? Like January 9th or something, like the first, it was something like that. It might have been last year, but like that's when I first saw the first version, was like January 9th. And it has come so far in such a short period of time, and all of these plugins and all the things, like they weren't around, when it first started. So in this short amount of time, we've come so far. The way that I look at it, it's the worst quality it's going to be. It's only going to get better from here. So playing around with these things and using them and kind of learning about them, I feel is a really good idea, because I feel like if we don't, we're going to get left behind by the people who do adopt using these type of products and, putting it into their business. I've seen other coaches that are not like in real estate, but like business coaches and stuff. And I've seen them talking about how they create sales pages and like all of this stuff using these different apps, or websites, the AI stuff, in order to create them. And I'm just like, again, for me, I would have to sit down and like think of all these things that I want to put in it. But that is probably my only hang up is like sitting down and calming my brain enough to put it all in so that I can create something worthwhile, to come out the other end. All right. So what are you guys thinking? How are you feeling? Give you some stuff to play with at least.
Yeah, I might have to go check some of this stuff out, because I'm kind of like you. It's like you get in your head and it's a time suck, and it's not your forte. And we want to be good at our job, but that doesn't mean we're great at every aspect of it. So it's nice to have tools that can help you figure some things out.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And, one thing that I wanted to talk with you guys about, some of you, I think I have talked about this idea with, but, I know like that it's something that I want to implement. And so I'm challenging you guys to implement as well. Okay. So basically, I know that I had talked with Letty about this, but how often are you guys reaching out to your sphere? Like anyone that even if it's friends on Facebook that you don't actually know, like how often are you reaching out to people?
Not often enough.
All right. That's fair.
I guess it depends on how far of a reach you want to get into, because I've got some of my clients that I have pretty consistent conversations with that have bought houses with me before, and they reach out occasionally and, ask questions or update or whatever. Like one just had a baby this last week, so I've talked to her a couple times. One's got 2 daughters who are wanting to rent or buy or do something similar, and I've talked to her this last week. I've got one that just moved down to Tucson from Phoenix, and I kind of helped her navigate that. And she keeps updating me on how amazing the new house is. And, she gives out my name anytime she can. And then I'm big on doing like written stuff to my clients.
Okay.
So I had my title lady make me some cards for different occasions. So I've got my blur on, sorry.
No
I've got 4th of July this week, but it has on the back, it has my information, my QR. Like I don't have to stick a card in my
love it.
in my things anymore. And she put my picture on the inside so that they always see my face. Like it's not just a written card you just got from somebody, like they consistently see me
Right.
And I try and send them out. Truth be told, I still have Memorial Day. I missed Memorial Day. It happens. We were going on vacation and I just didn't get my ducks in a row enough to do that. My daughter graduated, similar to what you were going through last week. It was just a chaotic time. We had the puppies that had been born. We still have 2. I've got 1 I've still got to get sold. So things are still crazy, but I'm trying to, and I'm headed out of town next month. My husband is actually working on getting his real estate license so that he can start opening doors for my clients when I have to go tend to our Airbnbs in Tennessee. So
I love it.
lots still going on here, but this is one of my favorite. Like I have clients all the time. They're like, hey, I got your card. Oh, I'll show you the other one I got. Hang on. Cool. Like it was a cool idea for her to give me.
Uh-huh.
This one has got to be my favorite. It says happy, let's see if you'll let me show it. Happy
Sure.
house anniversary.
Love it.
So every year on their anniversary, I send out a card reminding them, hey, you bought your house, however many years ago. Can you believe it's been 2? Can you believe it's been 6 or whatever the time frame is? But I told her, I said, I'll just have you make me a new one every year or so. And that way I'm consistently sending out different. I don't want to send out the same ones, obviously, every year, because that would just be goofy. But I try to at least send out, like I'm going to sit down the next couple of days and do all of July, and I'll just send out everybody that bought a house in July with me ever. So I don't have to think about it the week of, but
Right.
the month of, I think is pretty
Doable.
consistent.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I
Right.
like touching people like that because I think a handwritten card in this day and age is still very personable.
Absolutely.
Like people just don't do it anymore. They pop on Facebook and do a message, or they shoot a text over, which I do too, but something about that.
I just did handwritten thank you cards to some prospective buyers that I met at an open house. I probably
Yeah.
sent out like 15.
Yeah. And my kids laugh at me because I'm constantly talking, like when I go out shopping and stuff. I told Corey, I think I told you this. Who have you got? Oh, the puppies. I told Corey, I actually ended up picking up a client and I sent him a house anniversary card. So I know how long it's been. It's been 2 years. 2 years ago, I picked him up in Hobby Lobby. We were looking at doorknobs. And I was like, yeah, I'm looking for doorknobs and I don't remember what it was for. Sorry, I have a puppy under my feet that's hiding from my husband. He doesn't want to go outside so he can go back to bed. Anyway, so yeah, I met him in Hobby Lobby talking about doorknobs, and they bought a $605,000 house.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
So, and they were like, well, we don't think we can buy. So there's your, your pushback, and then you have to come up with why do you think that? And they're like, well, we're VA. Perfect. You don't need a down payment. What else can we narrow out of the issues?
Right.
So, and they got a handwritten card.
That's great. So one of the things that I was thinking, and like I said, okay, so the purpose of my question is essentially to talk a little bit about reaching out to those people. And even if you haven't reached out to them, or in Jenny's case, even if you have, right? So basically, either way, sending them something personalized, or sending them something that is not about us, is always a good thing. Like make it about them, that sort of thing. But what I'm getting at is I would like to challenge all of us. And like I said, I know I've talked to some of you and I know some of you have like a little hang up, but so don't shoot me, but we're going to, what I want us to do is basically send out 5 videos a day, like a video text, just saying, hi, I was thinking about you, wanted to check in and see how you're doing. Just something super simple like that to 5 people a day for 5 days a week. Okay. Until next week. This is all just for a week. Maybe it's on the 4th of July. Maybe it's just a happy 4th, I was thinking about you, whatever, but super simple, not intimidating, like just literally a quick video saying, I was thinking about you. And literally that's all like, and just like, it's not to say, oh, I'm in real estate. It's, oh, you're muted.
So you don't make it fancy. You just like film yourself on your phone
Absolutely.
and then stop the video and just upload it to a text.
Yep. Basically just have it there in your camera roll and pick your 5 people and send it to them.
Yeah,
Oh,
see,
you
that
don't make
doesn't
individual
scare
ones.
me.
I love it, Jenny. I love it. I know
That
that
doesn't really scare me too bad because they know me. Like that doesn't bother me. It's
Exactly.
trying to figure out how to communicate with strangers sometimes, even though I'll talk to them in a store, like sometimes it freaks me out.
right.
So
And
I
Oh,
like that
I was
idea.
picturing making like a different, see, I always think as far as personalizing things, that you had to make like 5 different videos.
and here's the thing, it could be super simple. So it doesn't have to be like, hi, Jane, whatever. It can just be, hi, I was thinking about you. Like, they're gonna see your face and it's gonna come off to them like you're talking to them, even if you're
Right.
not using their name. So you can go about it by using their name, but then you are creating 5 different videos. So it's up to you how you want to do it. But basically, I want us to all sit down and just think, okay, 5 people I haven't talked to, right? Like it could be, hi there, you look very beautiful. I don't know what you were talking about.
Well, now I'm presentable.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, anyway, so like I said, I know that I've talked with some of you about doing this, but not everyone. So I would like to challenge us to do this over the next week until, or let's say actually until our next group meeting, so that we can, all come back together and say, okay, this is what happened with that. Now, my thinking behind this is basically we're reaching out to people so that they just remember us, right? Know that we're thinking about them. It's not like the goal eventually would be to have a conversation about real estate, but that's not what like, we're not getting on the phone. We're not like sending them a video message saying, hey, by the way, I sell real estate. Just wanted to let you know. Like, no, it's more about them. And you can ask them, like, because they'll probably text you back, right? And like feel special. Basically, that's the point of it, is to make them feel special. They'll probably text you back and say, blah, 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 this is how things are going, whatever. You can ask them, what they're up to these days, that sort of thing, if it's been a while since you spoke with them. And most likely they'll ask you the same thing back. And then you can talk about real estate. But, it's just a matter of kind of getting out there in front of people and just letting them know that you're thinking about them. Anyone have any questions or concerns or anything?
Yeah, Corey, it's Eva. So you said to just reach out to 5 people in our contact
Yep.
list on our phone.
Yep. On your contact list, on your phone, on Facebook, wherever you feel compelled to, like, whoever you feel compelled to reach out to.
And just basically say, hi, I'm just checking in with you to see how you're doing.
Yeah.
Wow.
Just
Okay.
basically just to let them know that you're on their mind. I might have said that
Okay.
back, but however, you know what I mean.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Got it. Thank you.
Yep, you're welcome. All right. What else we got?
That scares me.
Well, it scares me.
Me too.
So we're all on the same page, right? Except
Oh
for
my
Jenny,
God.
who's perfect and has this.
The same way I feel about making a freaking video. I can't even. This
It will be
scares
okay.
me to death.
The point of it is a little bit to get out of our comfort zone, right? Like, but also these are people who already know us, right? So it's not going to be weird, except for that you haven't done this before, right? Like, that's the part that's going to be weird about it. But like, for them, it's going to be like a holy crap, like, she's literally thinking about me. You know what I mean? Like, it's going to come off like it's going to make them feel special is what I'm trying to say. Like, she thought of me, and this is you know, like you can't not respond to someone when they send you a video, right? Saying, hey, I'm thinking about you. Like, that's really rude. Like, no one's going to leave us just hanging after that. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Do you think when it comes to like doing the reels or whatever,
Mhm.
especially for some of us like myself that are newer agents, if we could like friend each other so we could like support each other, at least I would like everybody's, posts.
Absolutely.
Just to show support,
Yeah, I think so. We're all together in the group. So go into the group and basically just friend everyone who's in the group.
Okay. Okay, okay. I know what
The
you're talking
reverse prospecting group.
about. Okay.
You look like you have something to say, Letty. What's going on?
Sorry, my Zoom kept going away and I was trying to bring it back because I keep getting calls. I was like, what's going on?
No worries. Keeps happening to me on my end too. Did you have something you were going to say or?
No.
Oh.
When for the phone, for the messages, text messages, whatever it is, it's 5 per day, did you say, or is it 5?
5 per day. We're doing 25 a week. Okay. 5 per day,
Okay.
5 days a week.
Okay.
And I know you've got this because you do bold, right? So I know you.
Yeah.
So, okay. So do you guys, any other thoughts, questions, concerns? Like, how are you guys doing?
Trying to process.
You didn't expect homework today?
No, not really.
Hey,
Not video
Christy.
homework. I can do homework.
Christy, I know you're saying you're scared to do stuff, and I'm in the same boat as you. Corey tested me or told me last week, she kind of challenged me to try and put on a first time buyer class on a Zoom. So I set it up last night and it was a total bust. But I feel like I accomplished something because I put something on my to-do list that I'm not normally comfortable doing, and I at least followed through with it. So I get that part of it. And Eva, I get the part about the videos because I just sat down with my social media guy in my office and filmed videos, and I felt so out of my element. But I got it done and he edited them and they didn't look terrible. And I was actually shocked that they turned out as well as they did. So I guess
How much does that cost to get a social media guy? I mean,
we
I'm
have
gonna
a guy
do
in
it
our
for
office. He
cheap.
does it for $300 a month, but he does everything. Like I can send him any videos, he edits whatever, he helps me come up with content. I haven't utilized him as well as I should have because I've been so busy with graduation and we were gone for 20 days on a trip. So and then last week, Corey knows this, but I don't think I told you about my husband ended up getting admitted to the hospital with pneumonia and sepsis. So I had to deal with that last week too. And you saw him walk through here. I'm just now letting him get up and start doing stuff because he's not just every time he walks. So it's been a little crazy this last week, but I set up the Zoom thing last night. Like I said, total bust. It ended up being me and the lender. And I didn't care. I was like, I did it. I stuck to it. I showed up. I was there. I was prepared for if anybody showed up.
I got a little tripod, so I know what you're talking. I am trying. I'm mentally like prepping myself by getting things.
Yeah. And also, I would say too, if you're not comfortable getting in front of a camera, like pull up pictures of stuff you want to show, pull up pictures of a house you want to show and drop it into like a PowerPoint and create a video out of that and then post that. Like if you don't physically want to be on the camera, I would say anything. Like I'm going to be doing that because I also own a travel agency. So I want to go in and use the pictures from our trip and just create a video and then post it. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it doesn't necessarily have to be, I mean, it'd be great if it's your face because people relate to you, but as long as you're posting videos, people interact more with videos than anything else. So any kind of content you can put out there that's a video.
I see my hairstylist after this, so maybe
Well,
I'll have the courage.
I dyed mine myself Tuesday night because I got on video with my niece and nephew back in Mississippi and the silver was shining so bright in the video. I was like, there's no way I'm doing a Zoom with this gray hair. So I went and got a haircut last week, the day my husband got out of the hospital. He was supposed to get out late in the afternoon. He got out at noon. And I was like, well, now you get to sit in the parking lot while I get my haircut. So that's what he did.
That's great. Oh my gosh. All right, guys. Well, I've kept you a little bit longer than, what we're scheduled for. I'm happy to answer any questions always. I'm always available in the DMs. Be sure to use the link in the group to schedule your calls for next week if you haven't yet. Just so that we're sure, everyone's on the calendar. And reach out to me if you feel like Christy, like I'm talking to you. If you feel like you're stuck, reach out to me. I've got you. Okay.
Help, her ship is sinking.
It's just,
You've got
with a teaching background, I can talk to little kids all day. I don't know, am I mentally gonna have to like trick myself to pretend like I'm talking to like a group of first graders?
well, look,
Just talk up. Just talk up to them. My mom's a teacher, my sisters are teachers. So honestly, I feel like that works it works to your benefit because you can teach people what they don't understand about home buying. So it is an
I
asset.
can
You just have
without
to
the
figure out how to
camera
utilize
on.
it.
I feel like I'm
get
gonna
it.
have stage fright.
I get it. I'm in Arizona and everybody makes fun of my Southern accent. So that has always been my hiccup because people go, oh man, you're not from here, are you? And I'm like, and then I don't tell them I'm from Mississippi. I've lived right outside of Memphis, Tennessee in Mississippi. So I tell them I'm from Memphis because the minute I say Mississippi, I swear to God, my IQ drops about 20 points in their head.
That's funny.
that's funny. Oh my gosh. Well, all right, guys. Well, so what I would love is in the group, as we go through this, I would love to have you just send a message like 3, 5 completed, whatever it is, like tell me how many people you sent the message to. And like I said, I'm going to do this too. And I'm out of my comfort zone too, because I've done this before and it's fine and everyone responds and everyone's nice. But for some reason in my head, it is getting on video. And this is the funniest thing to me because look at, like, I do these Zooms, I do all this stuff like all the time. I
Yeah.
talk to people, like, I don't know what my problem is, but there is something about video and that feeling of like, oh, it needs to be perfect or whatever it is. But in this case, done is better than perfect. And like your people, they're not going to know that it's perfect, just the same as they're not going to know it's imperfect, right? So it's fine.
Letitia, where are you from? Are you from Virginia?
No, I am in California.
Okay.
I'm in Northern California, so I'm in the Bay Area.
Okay. So I got the right one. Okay, because there was another lady with your name and she's like in Arlington, Virginia. I'm like, that's right by me. So I sent you a friend request. Yeah, see, for me, the videos wouldn't bother me so much if I was sending them maybe to just one particular, it's the thought of putting it out there forever on
But
social media.
We're not right now. All we're doing is texting this to 5
Okay.
people.
So as
So
long as they don't post it, okay, that's what I'll tell myself.
exactly. This isn't them posting it. This isn't you posting it. All this is just a video, the same as you would send a text, right? Like just thinking of you.
Okay.
Yeah, see, this doesn't bother me so much because I actually did some of this during COVID. When we went on lockdown, it was right before Easter. So I went and dropped off Easter baskets with my daughter. It was something we just decided to do because there was nothing else to do. So I dropped them off at all my clients' houses since I knew most of them weren't going to be going out for Easter. And I would send them a video because there's chocolate in it and it's April in Arizona. And I was like, hey, you have chocolate on your front porch for Easter. Have a happy Easter kind of thing. So it seems everlasting, but it's not. It's a quick text. And most of your clients, for the most part, if they're like mine, they end up being friends. So you're just chatting with a friend, you're sending a video out to a friend, you're checking in. Like don't make it scary, I guess. I mean, I think it's scary too, but you have to mentally prepare not to be scary.
Best friend. Be like,
Start with
you
best
are
friend.
my test people.
Start with one you're really close to. Start with 5 easy ones are going to be really easy. Maybe that'll help kind of drum you up and roll you into the ones that are a little bit more difficult.
Absolutely.
Right.
Absolutely. Good advice. I love it. All right, guys. Well, we're gonna call it for today. And like I said, don't forget to schedule your appointments for next week. And oh, I didn't consider that the 4th of July is Tuesday, so we probably won't do any calls on Tuesday. For obvious reasons, right? But
Can you put the Calendly link in the chat maybe? I don't know what I did with it.
yeah, give me 1 second here. Hold on.
Sorry.
Calendly.
My mom has 3 appointments at the cancer center next week, so if there's not a time that works, then I'll let you know.
Okay.
Kind of a crazy week.
I was gonna say, and that's the other thing too. We can always arrange it. I have it set in my calendar for during certain times, but if something doesn't work or you go in there and you're like, oh my gosh, Corey, there's nothing or whatever, like just reach out to me and we'll figure out a time that works for both of us.
Okay,
Okay.
perfect.
All right, guys.
Thank you.
You're so welcome. I hope you
Gotta
guys
put my brave face on.
Yes. Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you. We'll see you guys soon.
Okay.
All right.
thanks.
Bye-bye.